jackass. But the pioneers, Roman Atwood, Vitaly, name a few. Who else? Big Doss. Big Doss was on here too. Who else is another one? Who else is another one?
First, we got Mediocre Films, who was kind of the prankster OG, and basically he just uploaded generic prank videos where he'd mess around with people. But
Prank Invasion? Oh my god! Oh my god, I love Prank Invasion. I love Prank Invasion, bro. I used to beat my meat to him.
Whose videos were kind of out of pocket because he was straight up just harass people, but I mean, it was kind of funny, I'm not gonna lie. But it wasn't like too crazy yet. There was Ed Basemaster, who pranked people using different personas, which is still something you see today. Magic of Rahat was a YouTuber who got a little bit more creative and was pretty popular for his drive.
Yeah, he was tough.
There was Jack Vale Films, who pretty much just himself in front of people for 15 years. But yeah, these were some of the first notable prank channels. Some of them got a little bit edgy, but for the most part, it was pretty much the same kind of stuff that you'd see even before YouTube, so they weren't too wild yet. Fast forward a little bit, and the whole prank scene would start to change and evolve into what ended up being the most notorious era of prank channels. After people started realizing how crazy the potential was for views on these prank videos, a lot more YouTubers started filming.
Fuzi was one.
Videos. Now, at first it started out pretty chill, nothing was too wild, but obviously more and more people are going to be uploading these prank videos, and to stand out, you're going to have to get a little bit wild. And this is where some of the YouTubers you might remember come in, like Vitaly, Joey Salads, UziTube, and Roman Atwood. So this whole era was around like 2014 to 2017, I'd say, and most people would consider this the peak of prank channels in terms of popularity. People wanted prank videos that were crazy, and the YouTubers wanted views and attention, so this caused a quick progression in how wild the videos would get.
Test your might.
You do that nowadays, you're getting shot.
Need to be raised if they wanted to.
You're getting shot, bro.
So if you've ever heard the term "in the hood" or "gone wrong" or something like that, you can thank Vitaly. So at first he would do these videos,
the worst type of videos,
these random pranks, but in the hood, which created the hood pranks genre that people started to catch on to. Now, even though most of the pranks themselves weren't even that crazy, things started to go left here because they were walking on this fine line that they would sometimes cross, which caused some consequences if they messed up with the wrong people.
Wait, why the fuck did he have a gorilla in the hood? Y'all seen that?
Sometimes cross, which caused some consequences if they messed up with
what the fuck? That's supposed to mean, bro.
What you doing, man? Bro, what you doing, man?
Bro, it's a fucking joke, dude. It's a joke.
Ooh.
Not long after, some of these prank channels would really cross the line. At this point, a lot of these YouTubers would actually threaten these people and make these people think actual harm was about to happen to them. You had YouTubers telling them they had bombs, people who would do fake drive-bys with fake AKs, and just a whole lot of wild stuff like that. Even besides the super crazy stuff, it would just kind of become a normal thing where people would just basically harass random people, and when they did actually face some consequences, they would always just claim, it's just a prank, bro. At some point, the term social experiments came into the prankster world, and just that term alone caused a lot of problems. These social experiment videos were basically where people would do these crazy pranks on random people to try to maximize the reaction they would get. Now, the problem with the whole social experiments thing is that now these YouTubers could do some wild shit and just call it a social experiment.
This is the type of stuff that Trey is on. Yes, I agree. This is Trey's type of content.
Experiment, which became heavily abused. So the YouTuber that took these social experiments to another level
Joey
is none other than Joey Salads.
Yeah.
Now what this bozo did was he would use the idea of social experiments to do these crazy pranks targeted at certain groups of people usually. And obviously it caused a bit of controversy because it seemed like he was painting certain groups of people in a negative way. For example, you got one video where he was leaving a Trump car in a black neighborhood to see what happens. And in another one, he would dress in a thought and throw down a briefcase at people while running away saying Allahu Akbar. While comparatively he would do the same thing but acting as a Christian man, peacefully placing down his briefcase while walking away saying praise Jesus. Now people were quick to point out that this was a bit
what type of
we said nah, these videos are just to get people talking and open up a discussion, which I guess in some cases maybe that would make sense, but most of these do low-key seem like
this is Trey's type of content,
certain sides of things, whether it was for the views or to promote his personal ideas. Now where it gets wild is the fact that the majority of these controversial social experiments were actually fake and ended up being a whole thing where he was potentially perhaps pushing these stereotypes that were scripted by him in the first place. But yeah, that brings us into the next.
That's what I hated about it.
Fake prank channels. At some point, started.
I hate fake channels. Y'all know the fake prank channels. Yeah, go ahead and name them. Kanel, nigga. My channel's not fake.
to get too out of pocket, and to be able to consistently make these videos, get good reactions, and do them without getting in crazy legal trouble, they had to start faking these. Usually what they would do is either pay random people out in the street to give a reaction, or sometimes even just straight up hire actors to be in these videos. On one hand, it could almost be considered a good thing that they faked these videos, because if they didn't, then some of these videos would just be so messed up. Prank Invasion was another channel that introduced a new wave of the prank genre.
Bro, I used to beat my meat to him, bro.
For people like me who were watching these
yeah,
when they were like 10 years old.
Yeah,
now that I think about it, this might have had something to do with my downfall. But yeah, I'm not too sure about that yet. So this dude would go up to girls, or he would usually play.
Y'all know these.
To these girls
bro.
A kiss. But
this
of course,
is one of the
people found
reasons
out
why
that
I wanted to
these
be
were
a prank.
scripted, and he paid actors and all of that. But what he didn't fake was when he did the kissing my sister prank, and then his mom. Now this leads me into a guy named Sam Pepper, and holy shit, he would do some crazy stuff. Like for example, lassoing random girls, handcuffing himself to girls, and not letting them go until they made out with him. The grouping random woman on the street prank. That one was pretty bad. People didn't like that one. But yeah, you get the idea. Basically, this nigga was on a crazy
that's not a prank.
Harassment streak. Now, of course, people were like, hold up, this isn't good. And he would just respond by saying that they were fake and consensual, and that it was just a social experiment. But some people came out saying otherwise. And also, not so surprisingly, this dude had some crazy allegations come out against him by not just one or a few, but like several different people. It gets worse though. Well, maybe not worse, but this is when it all really hit the fan. So in November of 2015, this dude decided to drop a video where he recruited another YouTuber's best friend to help him play a prank on that YouTuber. Now, what is this prank, you might ask? Well, the prank was to forcefully kidnap him and execute him in front of his best friend. So people went crazy about this video, starting petitions, and a whole bunch of backlash came to Sam's way. He even got Anonymous, the infamous hacker group, to threaten him. So you would think that YouTube would surely take down his video with millions of views, right? No, they actually outright said that they would not remove the video, which is insane because I can't even mention the 2020 virus without getting demonetized. 3 years later though, they actually came out and admitted to all being in on it, even the YouTuber who was getting pranked. Now you might not think that these were a huge deal if these pranks were actually fake, but these pranks actually had a very bad impact on people as a whole. Outside of the big YouTubers who are already trying to top each other to get views, a lot of smaller YouTubers and even some random people would go out of their way to do some of the dumbest shit of all time. One example I can think of is actually for a TikTok when this dude sat in front of a train trying to get it to stop so that he could go viral. I don't know what the fuck.
That's not a prank though. Don't that okay, that guy, the person just,
and his friends who helped out got 2 years. Like, this is on some next level intellectual incompetence, because what the like I mentioned before, there's also these one guys who did the fake drive-by with the fake AKs. Like, come on, bro. And then finally, probably one of the worst was when this one dude did a robbery prank and they chased people outside of a trampoline park filled with kids, which finally led to him being shot and unalived by one of these people he was chasing. Something recently that happened like that too was when this one guy got shot for doing a prank in the mall, but he's chill now. At some point, we started to finally reach the end of the prank genre's peak on YouTube. I think a lot of this is probably because around 2017, YouTube started to get really strict when they did this whole adpocalypse thing to appeal to advertisers. So any form of controversial content on YouTube kind of came to an end. On top of that, people just started to get tired of the prank genre in general because so many of them were fake that the whole genre basically got its reputation ruined. While the peak era of prank channels came to somewhat of an end, within recent years a new wave of prank channels have blown up.
Yo, am I a good prank channel? Wait, am I a good prank channel?
A lot of good as actually came from some of these YouTubers, which is very surprising to me. Nowadays, some of the most popular prank channels have been Loaf, Kanel, Joseph, and of course Gideon, before he quit YouTube at least. There were actually a few channels that survived the end of the last era, like Nelk, Ross Creations, and one of the most important was probably Danny Duncan. These YouTubers all helped to lay down the foundation for a lot of prank channels you know and love today, in contrast to the oversaturated, overly wild, and out-of-pocket fake pranks that you would see before. These other YouTubers
Hey, chat. I don't see Trey here. They
gained back their trust by doing videos that were more tasteful than what other people were doing. On top of this, the number one thing that you would see throughout a lot of these newer YouTube channels was that most of them all promoted the idea of positivity.
Is Danny even a prankster? I don't see Danny as a prankster, bro.
Which you've probably definitely seen before. They even sell them at major retailers now. Loaf was another good example because he would constantly talk about mental health issues and also in general just inspiring others. I remember one time seeing a video where he posted on another account where he just straight up was venting and just talking about mental health. And then the last example is Gideon, who genuinely tried his best to make the most entertaining and best content he could without having to stoop as low as a lot of other prank channels from before. Even outside of his channel, and especially after he quit, he would constantly share his beliefs and try to spread positivity to others. Whenever he quit, a lot of people were actually upset because Gideon decided he wanted to give up YouTube to put his full focus on
Gideon in the
still
chat.
upload about Christianity on a new channel and stuff. And recently he actually just started uploading again under his DeMarcus Cousins persona, but he specifically decided to just cut out pranks, which is understandable because sometimes bad things would come out of these pranks. Side note though, at the same time, a lot of people mentioned that he could still do pranks, but also just cut out some of the negativity a bit and just do it the right way while spreading positivity and his beliefs, which in my opinion I think is something that he could definitely do, and if anything he could use it as a platform to promote positivity even more. But overall, I think he's a huge part in what saved the prank genre on YouTube from being this awful place where people would have to stoop to the 7th layer of hell just to get a little attention. While now I do think a lot of good came from these YouTubers, there's definitely been some questionable things that they've done too. Even though I do personally think a lot of these prank channels are entertaining, there's a lot of people who feel like they're just annoying sometimes and disruptive to people. And I get it, but a lot of these YouTubers are just messing with people most of the time and not putting them in an actual harmful position or anything like some of these other people. Like for example, you got Gideon going crazy in the IHOP bathroom.
Oh, hold on, give me like 5 more minutes. That's why I lit the candles.
And another controversial time was when he went to sleep at a women's NBA game, which some people thought was kind of disrespectful, understandably. But on the other hand, a lot of people didn't think it was actually harmful, so it was all good. I do understand where these people are coming from though, because there's a lot of times that even sometimes I feel like they're pushing it too far. Another video I thought was funny but kind of fucked up was when Gideon rolled a watermelon or something at some bowling tournament, which probably low-key did ruin some people's day. And also I'm pretty sure it got stuck or something and kind of messed some of the place up. So even though they are kind of funny and entertaining, I do see why some people think that's too far. I actually went through a subreddit of Loaf, and I was pretty surprised to find that a lot of people were shitting on him for different reasons. One thing I noticed was that a lot of people mentioned how they didn't like that he was low-key bothering and annoying people in some of his newer videos. One post was actually talking about how they liked his newer video because he wasn't being as disrespectful, and in a weird way that kind of shows the positive impact they've had, because it shows that they have this audience who doesn't want them to be disrespectful to be entertaining. They just want pranks that are entertaining without doing.
Am I disrespectful in my pranks?
Even though this new wave of prank channels does have its downsides and could be improved, I honestly do think it is a big step in the right direction, and I feel like overall they definitely had a positive impact on people. Even for me personally, I think one of the biggest things that these channels do preach is just to not care about what others people think and to just be yourself, if taken into the right context, of course. While thankfully there's been a lot of positive things to come out of these recent internet pranksters, there's also been a handful of pretty bad ones too. A little while ago you had this dude named who blew up for literally committing crimes and just being a prankster demon. For example, you got pretending to steal a lady's dog, running on cars, going into cars, jumping over people, walking into houses, and all kinds of crazy shenanigans.
Bro, what?
But it was short-lived because he would soon fall off into oblivion. I remember there was this one video that people were talking about because all in one video, she walked into Walmart, harassed people, emptied a ball pit, and smashed her own TV and made a mess so that she could get a reaction out of people. All she got was arrested. And when she finally got back and uploaded the video, it flopped. The last thing I wanted to talk about
I would be pissed.
Oh, and this new wave of modern pranksters is a new streaming platform, Kick. Now, I'm not saying I hate Kick as a platform because I definitely do think it has its upsides, but I do think it has some major issues. One of them being that it seems like it's severely unmoderated, which means people can basically do whatever they want with little to no consequences. So first of all, something that I thought was interesting was the comeback of some of these golden era YouTube pranksters like Vitaly and Fuzi. I don't know what happened to FuziTube because he kind of made this comeback and was streaming a lot, but at the same time, it seems like he was going through like some mental breakdown, and then randomly he just dipped again. Recently though, I've actually been seeing more clips of Vitaly. One of the recent things I saw him doing was where he was basically doing some sort of live Chris Hansen type thing where him and his team caught a child enjoyer and beat them up on stream. Now that's cool and all, but it was still kind of controversial because now they can't use it as evidence, but I guess that's better than some of the stuff he was up to before. So one of the most hated pranksters on the internet right now has
you know what's crazy? Jack Doherty's not even a fucking prankster, bro. He's not even a prankster. They just try to add like everybody into like the prank category. He's not a prankster, bro.
Jack Doherty. Now this dude has been doing prank videos since he was a kid and hopping on trends, which is low-key kind of impressive, I'm not even going to lie. But over time he started to get more and more disruptive. Considering how YouTube was at the time, he wasn't too crazy, but recently he's been one of the most talked about people because of how bad his pranks are. What he's been doing recently is pretty much straight up harassing people and then hiding behind his bodyguard to avoid trouble. This didn't last too long though, because a little while ago he actually got attacked by someone regardless of having his bodyguard. There's also just been and several other people in the kick scene who aren't even just pranksters, but they just take advantage of the system, which allows
That's what
them
I'm saying.
to
These
do and
people are
say
not
some
even
of the most
pranksters.
wild without getting in any trouble. This allows for a new wave of negativity and pranks and just content creation in general. Overall though, prank channels on YouTube have been one of the most controversial topics throughout the years. There's a lot of good and bad that happens from it, but let me know what y'all think, because I know a lot of people have their own opinions
man,
on it. But yeah, if y'all
I
enjoyed
just
the video
pray
and want to see some more chill content,
And I hope people continue. If you want to become a prankster, bro, just look up Loaf, Jadon, Danny, me, anybody. Don't follow these like shitty ones. But I mean, this is a W video, but these last people aren't people. W video, y'all show some love to my boy 808 Savion. I'm subscribed. W video. But the last people aren't. W video, man. W video. Yeah, W video. W video. Let me see if anybody sent anything. Okay. W video.